What is going on, college basketball fans? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about some potential Cinderella teams for the 2025 March Madness tournament. These are all going to be mid-major teams that at the highest are going to get an at-large bid as an 11 seed, but most likely are going to get a 12 to 14 seed as long as they can win their conference league tournaments and make it to March Madness. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys for 6,000 subscribers. We hit it earlier today. I appreciate it. We're on the road to 10K, so if you guys haven't subscribed already and you guys enjoy the video, so make sure you hit that sub button. Without further ado, let's get into these potential Cinderellas. All right, guys, so coming in here at number 5 is a team out of the Big South Conference, and I like this team a lot. They put up a lot of points. That is the High Point Panthers. Now, High Point actually won the Big South regular season last year, but were unable to come through and win the Big South tournament and get a bid to the NCAA tournament last season. But this year, they bring back some experience. They have some senior guards, and I think that they have the team to be able to make it to their first ever March Madness tournament this year, as long as they can win their league tournament. They are actually a really good offensive team, and that's not just me watching them. The analytics back it up as well, because they are the number 27 team in KenPom offensive efficiency and number 4 in raw offensive efficiency as well. So really good offensive team, and it shows because they have 3 senior guards that all bring something to the table. First one, Demarion Williams. He is their leading scorer, also shoots above 40% from the three-point line, can give you about 15 a game at least, and very good experience. Awesome point guard there. Also, Keza Griffa, 14 points per game as well from another guard, and Chase Johnson, only about 10 points a game, but shoots 50% from the three-point line. Those are the type of players that you want to have for a March Madness Cinderella run. Guys who can hit the 3 ball and get hot at the right time during the tournament and be able to help you get a few wins. So very good offensive team, a team that has experience, almost made it to tournament last year and would be their first year in the NCAA tournament. They are coming in here at number 5. I do like the other 4 teams as potential Cinderellas better, but still I am pretty high on the High Point Panthers. Coming in here at number 4, I do have out of the Ivy League the Yale Bulldogs, and Yale is a team that, again, they kind of have some experience because last season they were able to pull off a round 1 upset over Auburn and a 13 seed over a 4 seed upset. And they are returning, of course, their coach, James Jones, a legendary coach who has coached at Yale ever since 1999. He's made multiple tournaments, gotten a few upsets, and including one just last year. They also are returning one of their stars from that team in John Polakaitis, who went off for, at that time, was a career high in the first round against Auburn. Very good shooter, averaging 20 points per game this year, and is a senior now. They don't have Danny Wolf on that team, who is now on Michigan anymore, but they do have a power forward in Nick Townsend, who has kind of overtaken as that role, averaging 15, 7 boards, and 3 assists as well. So really coming into that role and giving some good production to this Yale team. I think that they have all the makings to be able to possibly pull off another upset this year and maybe even go deeper, getting to the second weekend of March Madness. They also have another really good offense, the top 20, number 20 in offensive efficiency this year. They are 13-6 record, but they are undefeated in Ivy League play, and they have been dominating every team that they play in that league. Coming in here at number 3, I do have a team out of the Missouri Valley Conference, and that is the Drake Bulldogs. I feel like Drake is definitely more consistent of a team than a team like Bradley. I do think that there could be some sleepers out of that league, like potentially a Belmont or a Northern Iowa, but Drake is by far, looks to be maybe the best team in that league. And they kind of have a completely new team, and this is why they are coming in at number 3, even though they are a good team who have a really good record. They are 21-2, but the KenPom stats and analytics don't really love Drake that much, which is why I'm kind of holding back on them. And I do think they are a possible mid-major team. Lynx could be that Cinderella team who does fall short in the first round and breaks a lot of brackets just because a lot of teams expect them to pull off an upset. There's always that team. I think Drake could potentially be that team this year because the analytics and KenPom, they don't love Drake, and it would make a lot of sense. But this team I could still see as the Cinderella of this season because the storyline just makes sense for a March Madness Cinderella. They have a brand new head coach in Ben McCollum, who is coming up from Division II, where he was 394-91 win-loss record at Northeast Missouri State and a 4-time Division II national champion. He's also bringing in some really good players like Bennett Sturts, who's averaging 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists as a guard, one of the best guards in mid-major basketball. Also, Mitch Mascari, who is a 46% three-point shooter, which you always need. Like I said, on a March Madness team, you need to have that good shooter to be a good Cinderella. And then Tavion Banks, averaging 10 and 4 for them as well. I don't know if this team has that much depth. They are a pretty good defensive team as well, which will help them as well. So I could see this team being the potential Cinderella, but the reason they're coming in here at number 3, even with that 21-2 record, is because I do think this could be the team that everybody expects to be the Cinderella and pull off a round 1 upset that disappoints when we get to March. At number 2, we had to have a team from the A10 conference, and I decided to go with VCU. VCU is a team that I really like to watch, and that is because they are top 50 in offensive and defensive efficiency and number 35 in the KenPom rankings. That is pretty good for an A10 conference team. Now, in the A10, I think whoever comes out of that league is going to have a chance to be the Cinderella. I think the favorite should be VCU, and I know the number 1 team right now in that league is George Mason, and there are other teams that are really good in that league as well, but I think I really like this VCU team. Their head coach is Ryan Odom, who, if you guys do remember, the first ever 16-1 upset where UMBC upset Virginia, the head coach of UMBC was actually Ryan Odom. So when they lost Coach Rhodes to Penn State, he went and took that job. They went and got Ryan Odom, which I think was a fantastic hire. And they also have some really good players. Max Shulga, one of my favorite players to watch in mid-major basketball. I think he is probably going to be top contender for A10 Player of the Year, averaging 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Also, Joe Bamisile, 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. They have a good point guard in Philip Russell. Christian Furman is an underrated player on that team because their defense is so good, is a lot because of Furman. He is an anchor down low on defense for this team, which is very important. I think VCU has all the makings to potentially not only pull off a win, but potentially get to the Sweet 16 in the second weekend of March Madness. And next up, coming in here at number 1, the team that I have fallen in love with watching this year, watching mid-major basketball. I think that they have a stacked team that will be able to potentially make a run in March Madness. Some players that I think America could definitely fall in love with on a March Madness Cinderella run, and that is UC Irvine. And UC Irvine is already getting talks about potentially getting an at-large bid as an 11 seed, but they are definitely the favorites right now in the Big West Conference. They already beat the other top contender in that league, UC San Diego, and I'm pretty sure they play them again on Friday night this week. So that is going to be a treat for a rematch in that one, and if they can sweep them, they are looking for sure almost a lock for the NCAA tournament. But they have the number 8 defense in KenPom. That is all of Division I. They are top 10 defense. I love that because of how good their offense can run, especially through their center as well. They are 20-3 on the season, and their best player, Bent Luchin, down low, their center, is a 7'1" guy who is averaging 15 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and he is shooting 50% from the three-point line. That is right. This 7'1" center is shooting 50% from the three-point line, and he's taking it like 2 a game at least. Like, this is not just he's taken maybe like 5-6 threes all season long. No, he actually takes a couple a game, and I watch him play, and I kind of say, okay, that's kind of a baby Jokic. I call him Baby Joker whenever I can watch UC Irvine play. He is not averaging 10 assists. He's only averaging 2. But if you see the way that they run their offense through the pick and roll, he can make the extra pass on the backdoor cut after catching in the pick and roll, get an assist, and he is very good at getting an offensive rebound or catching it in the post and kicking it back out to the three-point line, and that is the best way to hit some open threes, is getting the ball inside and out. So that is very impressive to me. And they also have some really good guards. Miles Che, a point guard who is averaging 12, 2, and 3. And they also have another guard who also kind of runs the point sometimes, in Justin Hone, who is averaging 12, 3, and 4. And also power forward Devin Tillis, averaging 13 and 8. Together as a front court, him and Bent Luchin are averaging almost 20 boards a game. Very impressive. So they can rebound. Top 10 defense in KenPom, and they have baby Jokic on their team. I think that this team has all the makings to be able to make a Cinderella run this year in March Madness. And recently, as I've been watching them play, I am all in on a UC Irvine run come March Madness. So if you guys see a UC Irvine run to at least the Sweet 16 in my official March Madness bracket predictions, you can remember this video because I am all in on the Anteaters for 2025. Let me know your favorite Cinderella pick for this year's March Madness at this point in the season. We still have a little bit over a month until Selection Sunday, but it is coming upon us pretty quick, and I want to know your guys' opinions down low. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new. We do a ton of college basketball content here on the channel. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we just hit 6K, so I want to thank you guys again for that. We're on the road to 10K. Let's try to get as close as possible during March Madness. We're going to be pushing out a ton of content. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.